Hi, I'm Marissa Calhoun, and I will be teaching Mariah a lesson on poetry and some basic grammar stuff. Mariah is 8 years old, so according to the Piaget's cognitive stages, she should be in the concrete operational stage, which is where she starts realizing that things stay the same, so conservation of things, classifying things according to their type or their shape or anything like that, as well as reversibility, which is the ability of an object or something to be two things at once. The lesson I have chosen to do is to teach her how to write a type of poem called a cinquain, which is a poem based on grammatical structure of words. So it starts with a noun, then goes on to adjectives and verbs, and then a sentence and a synonym kind of thing. As a pre-assessment for this, I'm going to have several words typed up on colored paper, taped on a board, like a chalkboard or something, and I will have her separate them into categories, which I will have set up. As a type of scaffolding, I will have the first couple ones already done for her, or I can help her as she looks at them. The reason I want to do it on colored paper is because it makes a more fun environment. Hopefully we'll be able to be in a smaller classroom with not a lot going on, so having the colors on the board can just bring an atmosphere of fun into the room, make her kind of want to get more involved. There's also going to be some construction paper and glitter pens and things that we'll be using later on in the lesson, so hopefully all of these things aren't too overwhelming and she can remain calm and be excited and comfortable in the space. The activity of putting the words in their different categories will test her classification skills and her understanding of how words work in a sentence, or how a word can be two different types of things. Hopefully this is not too far out of her zone of proximal development. I will start off with some easier words that are a lot simpler for her to understand what they are, and then slowly move up into more complex words. And if it gets too much, we can go back down to the smaller words, the ones that she's probably more used to, and hopefully we will be able to keep her anxiety down and keep everything calm and working well so she can enjoy the lesson. Another type of pre-assessment will be asking her what she knows about poetry. This certain type of poem that we are working with does not have to rhyme, and I want to make sure that she understands that poetry doesn't have to rhyme, and that it can be just words, and that there are several different types of poems, which we can look into if this type of poem is too complex for her to understand. Like if she doesn't quite understand what it's supposed to be, there are other types of poems we can work on. I can teach her how to write a haiku or just any kind of free verse poem and work on the rhyming. The pre-assessment will also test her social development, hopefully. According to Erickson's classifications, she should be in the industry versus inferiority section, where she's having to deal with that kind of those feelings. To do this, I will have my roommate who will be helping record the lesson. I'm going to have her come over and ask if Mariah needs help with the words, or if she needs any kind of extra scaffolding, I guess. And depending on how Mariah handles the situation, if she lets my roommate take over, or if she stays in control and accepts the help and all of that, we can hopefully try to see where exactly she falls in the social development. Once we are done with the pre-assessment and we have the words classified and we both feel comfortable with her understanding, I will ask her if she needs extra help with understanding what's going on, or if she gets it. I don't want to throw her into writing this poem if she doesn't quite know exactly what we're talking about. But anyway, after this, moving into the actual lesson, I will explain to her the type of poem we're going to be writing. I'm going to write my own beforehand and have it there with me so we can use that. I can show it to her and have her see that it's pretty easy to come up with if you understand what it is that you're needing to do. Next, we will I'll have a sheet with the setup. There'll be my poem that I've already written plus a paper that has the formula written out for the poem and what it should be like, and some ideas of words that she could be using. The next step would be asking what she wants to write about, making sure she is comfortable with the subject, let her pick whatever it is, and then going on from there. This hopefully might be able to test her moral development. I will ask her if she wants to use her own words and her own ideas, or if she wants to use some of the words or things that we have come up with during our pre-assessment. A lot of the words on the board will be able to be worked into a poem, so if she does choose that option, they're there for her to use. Hopefully that we will be able to assess where she is in that whole area by what she decides she wants to do in that situation. Moving into the actual lesson, it will be a lot of information language, not a lot of commands or anything, just a lot of helping her understand and making sure she knows, not only because this is more of a lecture-y type of lesson, but also because she is a little girl and information language will keep her calmer and help lower some of the state anxiety that might be happening because of the situation that we're in. Once she has decided how she wants to write the poem, what she wants to write about, and if she wants to use her own words, we will go into the actual writing part, which won't require a lot from me. I will be there to help her scaffold her into if she starts having trouble with things, or to help her maybe think of ideas if she can't think of exactly what she wants to say. But a lot of this time will be me just sitting there, making sure she's understanding, watching for her cueing. If she looks hesitant on something, making sure that I am taking care of her needs. If she looks like she needs a question but she's afraid to ask, just kind of prompting her and seeing what it is that she's confused about or what it is she's thinking of. This part will be a lot of just me watching for her cueing and her understanding of what it is that we're doing. And hopefully we will be able to have a successful poem written and that she won't be too uncomfortable in the situation. After her poem is written and it's clear that she understands what it is, and even if we end up not writing the cinquain type of poem, if that's too difficult for her, if her cueing is suggesting to me that she's just not understanding what she needs to write, I'll ask her, do you want to try this type of poem? Do you want to look into something different? Do you want my help? Just letting her have some input in what we're doing. I will have some other things there to teach her about a simpler type of poem if this one proves to be a little too far out of her developmental areas. But once the poem is written, no matter what it is that we end up doing, we'll go into a creative part, I guess, just a little bit of fun. I will have some construction paper and glittery pens and things that she can rewrite her poem if she wants, and she can make it pretty, and she can just kind of make it into something to be proud of, to bring home and just have this pretty little picture to hang on the fridge or something. Hopefully that will help with her self-efficacy. If she's proud of what she wrote, she'll want to bring it home and show it off to everybody, and hopefully that's how she feels about this. Going back to before the lesson ever starts, kind of just setting up the environment and the room, the atmosphere of what we will be in. Hopefully we'll be in a classroom that isn't too big or too busy with things going on. There will be the words on the colored paper up on the board to kind of just make that fun environment, along with all of the crafty supplies off to the side, not in a way that will be distracting, but in a way that it'll interest her. She'll want to know what it is. Just kind of a very comfortable situation. I don't want it to seem like a classroom lesson plan type thing. I want it to just seem like a fun, hey, we're going to sit down, we're going to learn something today, but we're going to have fun while we do it kind of situation set up. I will be sitting next to her in front of the table or whatever it is that we're at. That way we're on the same level. It's not like she's in front of me, because I feel like that would definitely raise some of her state anxiety. So to lower that as much as possible, I'm just kind of inviting her in, asking her how she's doing, ask her about her day, what she knows about the lesson, what she's excited for, kind of get her feedback on what she sees in the video that I send her, to just kind of see where she's at and what she's expecting from the day. I don't want to just jump her into the lesson without getting to know her a little bit. I feel like asking her these questions and kind of sharing my own feelings of the day, it'll make that environment more comfortable. There will be a lot less anxiety, a lot less of just weird feelings, I guess, going on. My roommate will be there helping me film it, so I will have her involved in this too, so that she's not just kind of looking over like, oh, who's that? So that it's a very comfortable situation. After she has written her poem and made her craft and things, hopefully she has a better understanding of what poetry is and the different types of poetry, as well as the different types of words and grammatical things. That not too in depth, because that would just be too much for her, I think. So just hopefully she'll have that basic understanding. I know the age she's at now is where they start introducing the different types of poems and teaching you about what they mean and how they're written. So hopefully with this lesson she will come away with a better understanding of that. And if we still have time at the end of the lesson, no matter what it ends up being, we can work on other types of poems. I can show her just different types, not necessarily have her write them, but kind of just have them out. Just like, here, this is a limerick, this is a haiku, this is so-and-so, whatever they happen to be, just so she can have that kind of scaffolding for in her future lessons in school. She kind of understands the basic concepts. She's got that basis of this subject, which can be a little confusing at times. Hopefully by the end of this lesson she will have enjoyed it, and that she will come away with a better understanding of something that she might not have known anything about before. Hopefully I'm able to teach her something new and fun so that she can continue wanting to learn these things. Maybe it'll spark some interest in a subject she hadn't really thought about before, and that's all I can hope for. So thank you. Hey Mariah! I'm Marissa, and I'm going to be teaching you a lesson in a couple of days all about poetry and some different types of words and stuff. We're going to have a lot of fun, hopefully. You're going to learn a lot about one certain type of poem. It's called a cinquain. We're also going to look into some other kinds, just so you can kind of understand some new stuff. Hopefully we have a lot of fun. There will be some arts and crafts. You get to play with some glitter. It's always fun. I hope that you really want to learn this lesson. If that type of poem doesn't seem like a lot of fun, there's tons of other kinds that we can look into that I can show you how to write and I can show you all about. It's all up to you what kind of poem you want to write. I will show you at the beginning the one that I have planned, and then some other options if those don't seem like what you want to do. I hope you get excited about this lesson. I know I'm really excited to have this opportunity to teach you. So, bye! See you in a couple of days.